Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the first position is the station, and this is your sense of self. This is your current identity, the tone of your being. And it's the Princess of Cups. This is the one who dreams. This is the one that can find the magic in the mundane, can find the extra in the ordinary. This is the one that notices the fish in the percolator. You notice the things that are there that shouldn't be there. You know, you're very in tune with your psychic abilities. You're very in tune with the signs and symbols and synchronicities. I think you experience a lot of shifts in reality. You know, you probably have very vivid dreams, prophetic dreams. Spirit wants you to write those dreams down. Okay, it's important that we learn to write them down because that'll help us to remember them more and more and more. Right now you might be saying, well, I don't dream at all. You do. You just don't remember them. Okay, so it's a practice. We have to practice tuning in to those things that our conscious mind usually doesn't tune into. Okay, so to me it's kind of that Twin Peaks fish in the percolator. It's things that we would usually just ignore and never question and never look at, never pay attention to, never even notice. You notice those things. You notice what should be there but isn't. More importantly, you know what shouldn't be there but is. So those signs and those symbols, right? So this is, I think you're someone with a rich imagination. Extraordinary, right? Probably very creative, very imaginative. You probably have like a whole notebook full of like sketches and drawings and ideas and just random things, you know. This is somebody that is sort of in tune with that inner life, has a very rich inner life. I feel like when you close your eyes, it's not just darkness. A rich world comes to life in you. Yeah. Well, let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what's going on. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. You have the Four of Pentacles. Okay. We have the Ten of Wands. We have a Prince of Wands. We have a Queen of Pentacles. We have an Emperor energy. Okay, very good. Over here we have the Eight of Pentacles. We have a Knight of Cups, of a Princess of Pentacles, and an Ace of Pentacles. There we go. A lot of court cards. I feel like you do have a lot of people around you. A lot of people that probably are very demanding of your conscious energy. So I feel like when you close your eyes or when you have alone time, I feel like that's very sacred time for you. So really, I think the part of the message here for you today is to create some time and space for you to just explore your imagination, to do that interior work, to explore the interior landscape. Okay, maybe through, active imagination, dream work, astral traveling, or just meditation or something, or just, artistic things. But you do see the water to earth connection here. So it's kind of like we have to find some way to, ritualize this imagination work, or to somehow bring it from the world, the realm of imagination, down to the physical realm. So we have to take our imagination, we got to put it on paper. We got to put it into practice. We got to create a time and a space where we can engage with it and bring it down to the level of physical reality. Yeah. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the Factor Infinite and Unknown. We're going to set it here with Jimbo the Lizard King, aka Mr. Lizard. right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room, we don't see a whole heck of a lot of majors, do we? Just got the one, just the Emperor, right? And I think that Emperor is important because it's sort of saying like we have to start taking control over our time and space. We need to do the time and space management here, okay? We can't let anybody else sort of dictate what we're doing. It's kind of like you're under this very imposing schedule, right? Somebody else is sort of telling you what to do, where to be, and when to be there. And we're just trying to steal little moments where we can just dream and feel and use our imagination and be creative, and where we can, explore ourselves. But as soon as we start to sort of drift off into that active imagination, someone's blowing the whistle and saying, "Hey, Scorpio, get back to work." So, oh, okay. Right back to it. So this is kind of about taking our power back a little bit and setting up our own time and space where we can do those creative things that we want to do. Okay? To take something from our imagination and bring it to the physical realm, whether it's painting or music or art or dreaming or any of these things. Daydreaming, fantasizing, having time and space where we can do that, and maybe even parlay that into actually making it happen, making it real. So it's not just a fantasy, it's not just a wish or a dream, it's something now I'm actually just going to start doing it. In real life kind of thing. So, besides the majors, we have fire and fire, water and water. We don't have any air right now, but then you've got earth, 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 and earth. A lot of earth cards. Okay? So this is really about how we're using our time and space, how we're using the physical resources that we have at our disposal, and how we might be able to reclaim some of those. Okay? And that's the Four of Pentacles. That's your battle. Second position in the Dove and Serpent spread is the battle position. This is where your task is. This is your quest right now. This is the conflict for you. Because the Four of Pentacles is earthly power. It's saying I have resources and I should be in control of these resources. That I am a person who has 24 hours in a day. I should have some say in how those 24 hours are used. Right? It's kind of like I have a bank account. I should be able to choose how I spend my money. I should get to choose to some degree how I spend my time, my effort, my energy. And so the challenge for you, the quest for you, is to create for yourself the time and space, a sacred space. Whether it's you scheduling an hour here or there, an hour a week, or 20 minutes a day, setting a space aside in your house somewhere where you can just be with yourself. You can be in your fantasy, in your imagination, in your creativity, whether this is, to feel like we can dream about things, to feel like we can explore the inner landscape so that we can figure out what it is we really want to try to manifest. What do we want to do? We're going to set this time and space apart. Maybe we're going to start painting. Maybe we're going to start writing. Maybe we're just going to take a nap and we're going to see what inspiration comes to us in our sleep. Maybe we're going to do the active imagination, the astral traveling, but we're going to bring something back with us that we can start doing in the physical world. The water to earth in this context is about manifesting your dream, about taking what's inside your imagination and getting it real, making it a concrete and sort of crystallized reality, turning it into a legit activity or something for yourself, That's the battle now, is getting some sort of control over our resources to say, okay, how do I do that? How do I section off a little bit of time and space for myself? Okay? It's not easy to do. Most of us, we have 24 hours in a day. Well, we've got 25 of those hours booked. So it's not easy. Okay? So might be some sacrifices that need to be might need to be sort of made, right? We might have to volunteer some things up and to squeeze some things out. Well, let's look at the third position. This is the position of the soul. It's the Ten of Wands. And this is your hidden self, the unconscious, the deeper feelings, the secret longings that you have. So underneath the surface, we have the Ten of Wands. We have oppression. And this is really the feeling that I've got too much on my plate now. This is like literally that feeling that I've got 24 hours in a day and 25 of those hours are booked. Okay? So it's overwhelming. It's too much. We feel like we're being overwhelmed. I feel like I've got too much on my plate. My days are overscheduled. I'm overcommitted. I'm overbooked. And that's not how I want to do it anymore. You know? We kind of see this little bit of water that's just being sort of overwhelmed by this fire and earth. See? Fire, 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 earth, 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 earth. Pretty soon that water is going to mature into a knight. Okay? We see that, and I like that. Going from the princess to the knight, it's a maturing of that energy. It's a strengthening of that current. But right now it feels kind of overwhelmed by all of this, sort of daily responsibilities, all the weight that's on your shoulders. Maybe you're a business owner. Maybe you have a very demanding job. You have a demanding family life and social life. A lot of things going on. Again, you're feeling overbooked. So this card reflects that. It reflects that inner feeling that says, look, I've only got 24 hours in a day, and I need at least one of those hours for me to do these things that are in my soul and my imagination that need to get some attention. I want to have an hour a day where I can just like experience the magic of the mundane and find the extra in the ordinary, you know, where I can just follow my whim. I can follow my imagination and follow my heart a little bit, right? Follow the fish in the percolator. Yeah. But as it is now, we sort of feel like I'm not being allowed that time. I'm not being allowed to do that. Well, that phrase, that simply saying I'm not allowed to do it, implies that there's some other force that's affecting us, that's preventing us from doing that. Okay? And that might be our emperor that we see in this future position. But the next card is the card of the dwarf. The old pattern, the inertial drag, the residue of old karma. It's the Prince of Wands. This is this cruise control. This is kind of saying that, look, things have been happening, things have been going on the same way for so long that I don't know how to get out of this. I don't know how to break this pattern. I don't know how to stop scheduling myself or stop letting, other things dominate all my time and pull all of my time and energy away from me. So this card's kind of implying that this has become a habit, that this has become such a groove, that it's become natural. And if things happen a certain way for so long, it's very difficult to change. And so this might be that we've been living this way for a long time, and now that we're getting this impulse, we're getting this feeling of like, I'm starting to burn out, I need to explore my imagination a little bit. We're getting this impulse to change something. We're realizing how difficult it is to change course. Once you set the cruise control or the autopilot, it's very hard to take control back. Okay, but we can do it. And so this is us kind of recognizing how we got into this, where we might have given up our power or authority to something else, where we might have given away some of our autonomy or some of our agency, and where we have where we've committed all of our time and space. Okay, so we sort of have to take stock of where we are so that we can get an idea of how to overcome that, and that sort of gives us a segue into the next position, the giant, right? The driving force, the impulse that is propelling us forward. Okay, this is the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen is always looking at the past. So the Queen is looking at the past and thinking, okay, how did I get into the situation I'm in now? Right? We're trying to learn from the past. Okay? And it could be that we have given away all of our time and energy. And we're realizing that. We're looking at the long and winding road that we've traveled to get right here where we are, and we realize that we're kind of at a turning point. The Queen is looking at the past, but is just about ready to turn around and start looking at the future. And thinking, I have to understand how I got here so that I don't make that mistake again. So that when I change and when I shift, when I alter my life, when I start the new path, I don't end up in the same predicament I'm in now. And so we realize that we have to learn from the past in order to not repeat it. So that virtue right now is kind of hindsight. The virtue is being really honest and really understanding what situation we're in and how we got here, so that when we change and choose a different path, we're not going to end up repeating the same thing, okay? Now, it all comes down to the Emperor energy in this future position, position 6, the Imago. This is the image of your future self, the next step on your path, the seed of tomorrow. It is the Emperor, right? This is sort of the beacon of what you're becoming. You're taking charge of your life. You're realizing that we can't give our authority or our agency over to anybody else. That we have to align our choices now with the person who's in control. This is a card of authority. Who has the authority to give away your time and space? Have we given it to somebody else? Have we given it over to some automated system or some schedule, right? Have we locked something in place? Have we developed a habit, a routine of life that now has taken away our agency, and it's just kind of, I've overbooked my life. We got to take that power back and say, okay, I got myself into this mess, I'll get myself out. So what choices are going to help us take control and take the power so that we can start manifesting whatever this dream is, whatever this fish in the percolator is that really wants you to notice it and wants you to start, giving it some form of expression. We've got to take our power back, okay? Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free, okay? On the path of the serpent, we start with this, the Eight of Pentacles, position 7, the persona. This is how we present ourselves to the world. This is the version of us that other people see. And it's a card of patience. It's a card of calm, attention to detail. And it almost feels like this is somebody that people feel like, oh, I could give them something else to do. They've got plenty of time, because it feels like you're very capable of handling everything that you have on your plate in life. And so people kind of feel that they can give you more. Okay, this is maybe a card that is projecting an image of progress. That this is someone who is really ambitious in life, somebody who's really they got a lot of stuff going, they're spinning a lot of plates, and they're really thriving. Like, this is somebody, wow, you're making progress. People probably see you as you're really ambitious, you're leveling up, you're accomplishing your goals, you've got this fire to earth manifestation thing down. And people might not recognize that there's something else inside of you that's not being expressed, that's not being fulfilled. We see the outer image of something. We see the garden, but we don't know what's going on inside that garden, underneath the surface. Right? Which to me, and because of the cards, underneath the surface is that feeling of being overwhelmed with everything. Not being watered enough, But you're able to maintain this very stable exterior. And the patience here is wearing very thin. And if we have this persona of someone who's very patient and very attentive and very accommodating, this might be something that's not serving us anymore. Maybe it's about speaking up. You know what we don't have in the reading today? We don't have any swords. Okay? So people see us as a resource. People see us as somebody that can always do more. We're capable of it. Someone who's very patient and very willing and very tolerant, because we're not communicating anything else. There are no swords cards here, so we're not speaking up. Maybe this mask isn't serving our higher purpose anymore. Maybe we need to refine the role that we're playing. Maybe we need the sword. Ace of Swords maybe is the mystery card, so that we can carve a different version of ourselves and say, no, you know what? I need to know how to say no to people. And so we get those swords cards and we're starting to say no. Even if people don't like it. Once you start turning off the tap, people are going to notice. Once you start saying no to people, even in a very nice and polite and apologetic way, People are going to get upset. What do you mean no? What do you mean you can't do it? What are you so busy doing? We've got to speak up, because nobody is just going to give us free time. We have to demand it. We have to claim it and say, I'm taking an hour for myself. I want to go take a bubble bath and have a burrito, because people are going to just see like that we're functioning fine the way things are, and it doesn't seem overwhelming. We're not all frazzled looking, right? So people say, okay, well, I can ask for something else. We have to draw the line somewhere. And we do that with the swords cards. Communication. Okay. The next card is the shadow. And it's in the position of your environment. This is sort of the hidden or denied aspect of yourself. And it's now kind of, it's now emerging in the position of your relationships. So to me, it feels like it's an evolution of the princess now. The princess is growing up and becoming a knight. So asserting itself, pursuing that manifestation of that dream, living with passion, that we've taken time for ourselves and we're doing the thing that we really want to do. We're embracing this creative, imaginative, dreamy, fantasy kind of part of ourselves. Okay? If it's an emotional thing, we're embracing it rather than limiting it, rather than having to shut it down because there's just no time. We have made time, we have made space, and we are pursuing those things that mean something to us. And that means that sometimes we have to tell other people no. Sometimes we have to tell other things no. I'm not doing that right now because I'm taking this time for me. Okay? Now, the fear is position 9. It's the specter. This is your anxiety, your dread, the fear, worry, concern. And it's the Princess of Pentacles. This is a dry, desiccated, barren, and sterile landscape. Quite a far cry from the Princess of Cups, right? This is full of life and love and depth and meaning and purpose and imagination. This is barren and sterile. And this is our fear, because we fear that it doesn't matter how much progress we make, it's going to be empty. It's going to be dry and desiccated. Okay? There's no moisture here. There's no life here. There's no verdant energy in this card. So our biggest fear is that we are not going to fulfill ourselves, that we're not going to be happy, we're not going to be fulfilled, we're not going to have any depth or meaning or purpose, and we're not going to have any magic in the mundane. It's just going to be all mundane. We're going to have no extra in the ordinary. It's all going to be ordinary. It's going to be a dry hole, right? And so this is our biggest fear. And so this is kind of saying, okay, well, I know what this fear is, so I've got to liberate myself from this. And of course, we see the next card with the Ace of Pentacles. That's us taking another step. Spirit is giving us the opportunity to create time and space for ourselves, to do what matters to us, to do what feels necessary to your soul. Okay? This is a new path that you are weaving. We're doing something different. And I think this is an invitation from Spirit to say, you got to start doing what you feel you need in your life. Whether it's art or music or love or relationships or just fantasy or dreams or getting more sleep or whatever it is, whatever that Princess of Cups is for you. Okay? We've got to start making it a reality. It's not enough to just think about it or dream about it. We've got to start actually doing it. That's the only way we can get the benefits of it, is by doing it. Okay? Let's look at the mystery card. This is position 11. This is the guide. This is the higher self, the inner teacher. This is the wisdom that waits to lead you onward. What do we think it's going to be? Well, I think it's going to be some swords. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments down below. Let's see what we have. That's the world, but it's the world upside down. I very rarely get an inverted card, right? It never happens. So this is really telling me that we need to turn the world on its head right now. Instead of all this fire to earth, conscious life, daytime sort of ambition manifestation, we need to flip into the night side world, the inner world, the dream world, the realm of the imagination. It's not a time of conscious goals, right? It's a time of the inner work, the inner landscape. right? The World card sort of represents the external universe. Upside down, reversed, represents the internal universe. It's time for inner exploration, not so much the outer. We might have to take some time away from the outer exploration so we can do that inner exploration. Because then we can really become a whole person, which is what this card really is about. It doesn't matter if it's upside down or left or right. In outer space, there is no up or down, right? There isn't. And so this card's kind of saying, like, we have to orient ourselves like in the way that feels right for us. There is no right or wrong. There is no up or down. And so we want to become a full being, a well-rounded person, and we can't neglect the inner in order to tend to the outer, right? So that's kind of what we see with the princess, because this is the inner garden that isn't growing because we're so busy tending to the outer garden. We have to tend the inner garden. And there's the World card. I think this is really right on target. Please let the lessons of these 11 stations settle into your heart. Each card is a mirror. Each station is a temple of transformation. And please remember that the tarot does not dictate your future. Right? It reveals the patterns of possibility. It invites you to co-create your destiny. If this reading has illuminated your path, please share your reflections below. Together, we journey onward, ever upward, and ever inward. And of course, we're going to do an extended reading if you want to stick around. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram. We're going to do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Scorpio on Wednesdays and Saturdays. This was a bonus reading. Okay. Be sure to watch both of your other readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.